Start off with a little self-promotional plug there. I don't have any shirts for sale right now, and I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's still gonna be a long while before we get back to doing that kind of merch. 10,000 subscription with a 200 to 500 active crowd doesn't warrant me making more merch. Every once in a while, that question comes up, and that's the reason why I don't like regularly make it. Besides decals. Decals will be forever made now because I got a good plug on them, and I'll send them out with anytime you purchase like a high dollar item, anything like $100 or more, you're gonna get a decal from VHP. So anyway, this is a head buyer's guide because right away when I posted it, I started getting questions that are I thought were like, hey, you know, read the post like carefully and you'll see. But I'm also know that despite the fact that I release prices and lists like these, it still kind of confuses people. And I want to put it up on the website, but also the website requires pictures. You know, pictures. I haven't built spring retainer's head yet, so I can't really post those up. I think I do have on VHP Engines a list for like the Vtec Killer heads, and I guess I should have opened that before I started making the video. Yeah, those prices on the head right now on VHP Engines aren't 100% accurate. They're not. I have to fix that. You know, I haven't. You know, guys, when I make things, I kind of update things as they need to be when I'm tweaking prices and shit. And also you gotta remember that the prices on the website are gonna be like $50 higher. Because like eBay, Big Cartel also takes a cut. Anytime you make a sell, you got to pay the taxes plus Big Cartel gets their little cut, which I think is kind of fucked up considering the fact that you're already paying a subscription monthly fee to use the damn website. But whatever, it is what it is. But it's also the reason why I don't like selling high dollar items on eBay, because you run the risk of people running scams, filing false claims, and also eBay takes their monthly cut, and I don't like that. So to keep prices good for me and as cheap and as low as possible for you, I always prefer you guys to buy from me directly. Use the website as a browsing tool. If you don't want to talk to me directly or you're being thoughtful and not wanting to disturb me for window shopping, that's great. That's awesome. I love that. But you can still go to vhpengines.com to browse. Now, do I have things that are not on the website that are available? Yes. Not a lot. But I do have some things, small things, like cam gears and shit like that, like the VTC for the K-series. It's been a while since I've been junkyard picking, so I don't have any VTCs well, I do have a couple, but the ones I have right now, I think they're going to go with heads and I'm going to keep. And I'm sorry, I just spent 3 minutes not breaking down the prices like I promised, but here we go. So now, if you're thinking that all these head prices are extremely expensive, it is depending on where you're at. Like down in South Florida, these are a lot cheaper for me, which is, you know, it's a good thing because the cheaper it is for me, that means the cheaper I can offer for you guys. But if you go to eBay and stuff like that and look for these head prices, they're going to be more expensive, and a lot of them require a core. Like there are refurbished K24 heads on there for sale, but they are $750 shipped, and they require a core return. So that means you have to send them your K24 head back for that price to be. If not, you get charged a core fee. I do not charge a core fee. Whatever the price is that I'm quoting is the shipped price. The only thing that I do not quote in the original price is the head resurfacing, and that is because you not always have to resurface your head. I'm going to check every head that I have. If the head needs to be resurfaced, I'm going to tell you, hey, the one I have needs to be resurfaced. It's an $85 upcharge. You have a brand new head at that point. Or I say, hey, this head doesn't need to be resurfaced. It's good as is. And then you can make the decision, I want to go ahead and resurface it anyway, which is fine. Or you can be like, all right, I'll take it as is. And it'll save you $85. So again, to reiterate, all these prices are shipping included inside the continental United States, and is an $85 uptick if you want a head resurfaced or if it needs to be. I guess it's the luck of the draw type thing if you don't really want to pay for the resurfacing, but you have to. So I'm sorry about that. There's nothing I can really do about that. I'm not gonna eat the cost of the machine shop because I'm already keeping these heads at next to what I pay them on. You guys hear a big price quoted at you, but really I'm not making that much extra on it because I'm also again paying shipping. So the breakdown here. K20 Type S head. So this is PRB, RBC, those heads, those the Type S and later generation SI heads. Those, if you want that head complete stock, is $700 shipped. I think that's super fair considering what the price of the market is, right? So and now what $700 gets you, it's a stock head, yes, but it's going to be cleaned up. Now it's not hot tanked, so it may not be spick and span clean, but it'll be cleaned of all the nastiness, all the major junk off of it. It might still be oil stained, the tinge stain on it, because it's hard to get my hands in there and get that stuff cleaned out. But all heavy gunk and buildup will be removed. I will have cleaned up and checked the surface of the head, so that the head should be the surface should be pretty straight, even if it's not being resurfaced. And then there's, of course, if you have a guy that does it cheaper, then that's an option you can keep too. Like, I know that not everybody charges what my machine shop charges for head resurfacing. I think they're a little expensive, but nothing I can do about that. So $700 for a complete head, a stock head, yes. And also the added benefit I'm giving you too is I'm not just taking an old head from somebody and then selling it to you for $700. What I'm doing is I'm taking that head, I'm breaking it down, I'm cleaning it, I'm polishing up the valves, and putting new valve seals in there. Every head, at a minimum, will come with new Vtec valve seals and polished valves. Now, are the valves going to be perfectly mirror finished? No, but I'm going to clean up all the carbon. There won't be any carbon, and the pitting on some valves will be mostly gone. Now, some are in better shape than others, but if I sit there for the time it takes to require to make a perfect mirror finish to bring those valves back to stock, what I would have to charge for labor, it would cost you to buy new valves. So that's why I keep it. That's why I kind of hesitate to say polished valves, even though they are polished, because if you hear polished valves, you're probably thinking something that looks brand new. I just can't take the time to do that. I have a couple times. It's a lot of effort. So I run the valves in the drill to make sure they're straight and not bent. And also, I run them on a fine grit sandpaper and a scouring pad to get all the carbon buildup off of them. So there's that. So even though you are getting a stock head, you are getting a refreshed head. It's not going to be, it's not going to be just something that comes from a junkyard or comes from somebody's backyard without being gone over and cleaned up. So there is labor involved in these heads, and that also is reflected in the price. All right. So also. The way I grouped it, the spacing in the listing is complete head, $700, Vtec springs, retainers, and seats, $1,050. So you can take the complete head and upgrade the valve train with Vtec springs and retainers, and either dual springs and retainer and titanium retainers and seats. And so you'll get a refreshed head with upgraded springs for what is it? Where I lost it, $1,050, right? But to be 100% honest, guys, I think if you're going to upgrade springs and retainers, it's only if you're going to upgrade the cams. Like, if you're going to upgrade cams is when you need to upgrade springs and retainers. Otherwise, stock cams are fine. Like, I feel pretty good in taking the red line to 8,500 with stock cams. I don't think you're going to need to reinforce the springs. Don't just build a head just to build a head. But that is an option that is going to be there, so I have that option there. Now, here's the next option, which is what I think you should do. Like, this is the option I believe you should take if you are going to build your head, because you're gonna do cams, right? If you're gonna put cams. So the next option is no rocker assembly or cams, stock. Like, if you just want the head, a stock head with no rocker assembly or cams, it is for a K20. It is $500. So if you just want a semi-bare head, no cam towers, no cams, no cam gears, you're gonna get. It's going to come with springs and retainers, the stock springs, stock retainers, stock valves with new valve seals and polished valves. So you're getting a polished and resealed head for $500. I think that is a very fair price. Considering that I've played with my labor pricing for heads, I've gone between $200 to $150. I think I can live with $150 for labor for removing all the valves, cleaning the head. It's a lot. There's a lot involved. Cleaning up the head, and then cleaning up the valve springs on retainers, all that shit, and then putting it all back together with new seals, polished valves, make sure nothing's bent. So $500, I think, is an extremely fair price for that head, considering that's what they go for all day used without being touched. Then this is what I was saying, if you're going to build your head, this is the package I think you should go with. If you get a bare head with upgraded springs, retainers, and seats, it's $850. That's less than $1,000 you're getting for a head with brand new valve seals, polished valves, brand new springs and retainers, ready for some big cam action. So I think that's an extremely fair price, and that's the shipped price with no core. So that's to your door, $850. I think it's not really going to get much better than that unless you go with the TSX head, because that's when the price is going. We're going from highest to lowest here. So the next package you can get is the K24 Tsx. If you want a complete head, it's $500. So as opposed to the K20 head, you get the bare head for $500. If you go with the TSX head, you get the complete head for $500. But that is the RBB cam gear. That is not a 50-degree cam gear. And if you want to try and milk out some more power, if you plan on upgrading to an RBC intake manifold, then I would suggest that you upgrade the cam gear from the RBB. Was it 25-degree? It's a 25-degree cam gear to the 50-degree cam gear. If you wanna upgrade the cam gear, that's gonna be $60 added. I don't think I listed that there, but yeah, it's an option. I will make sure to list it on the website. Man, that's gonna be a mission putting all those options in. But if you want to upgrade your cam gear to a 50-degree VTC, then it's gonna be an extra $60, and that's if I have it on hand. Which is also the major reason why it's important for you guys to reach out to me personally to speak to me before you buy anything, because not only will the website charge you, but I might not have it available and I might not be in stock. And I don't go back and forth on the website every time I have or don't have something, because it's, these are just the website's mainly just to showcase what my prices are. So anyway, if you want to upgrade the VTC, it's a $60 upgrade when in stock. Now, if you want a complete RBB head, cams, upgrade and all that shit, it'll be $850 shipped. And again, guys, I think if you're gonna upgrade your valve train, it's because you're not gonna use stock cams. If you don't need to use stock cams, if you don't need to buy the head like that, then you should go without the rocker assembly. And of course, if you want the rocker assembly, I can add that in too. And I do believe I charge. I might be misspeaking, but I want to say that it's like $30. I choose for the I charge if you want to include the cam towers, the cam carriers. This is no cams, but the cams and the rocker assembly. Oh, no, that's the reason why. I remember why. Because, no, it's a $200 upcharge. Because the real Vtec rocker arm assembly is more expensive. It's not like where the Vtec Killer, where I can manufacture it and then I can do it easily because the parts there's a million of them. With the real Vtec stuff, I would have to buy online if I don't already have them, and I don't have a lot of them. So that's the reason why I made it two options. But again, still, if you want a K24 head, if you want a built K20 Vtec head, like a true Vtec head that is built, and you don't want to spend the extra money for a K20 head, the TSX head is fine, especially if you're going to boost. Again, I use this as an example all the time. Kenny's TSX head, Kenny's all 1,000 horsepower all-wheel drive car is a stock port TSX head. All right. So it's not no ported K20 head or anything like that, which really kind of makes it redundant, because once you port the head, it doesn't really matter which one you're using at that point. But his K24, he's got a stock K24 head on there, or a stock port K24 head with springs, retainers, and valves. Now, so if you want a built TSX head, a bare one, because you're gonna upgrade cams on your own, then it is. Hold on, I lost it. Where'd it go? It is $650, which is what the guy from Hawaii is getting. So, yeah, okay, yeah. So it's $650. No, and it's not what he's getting. I'm sorry, I'm lying. He's getting a complete stock head, and he's paying $600 plus because the shipping increased for the shipping overseas to Hawaii. But if you want a built head and you don't want to go crazy expensive, then I will build you an RBB head, a RBB TSX head, springs, retainers upgraded, $650 shipped, guys. A built head, $650. I really don't see how I could be any more fair than that. That's barely making any profit on this head, but still giving you guys something that's hardcore. So yeah, if you want an RBB head, and I still have two of them available, if you want an RBB head, you can get one for me for $650 built, or you can get one complete the stock for $500. So let's go down here. I think, okay, so the last, there's two options. The base model head is I only listed it as one option because, let's be serious here, guys. I don't think any of you guys are trying to order a base model head off me that's, with the base model cams. They're trash. And I don't think many people are wanting to try to spend money to upgrade to a trash head. So we know the base model head is mainly used for Vtec Killer, but I still kept it separate from Vtec Killer because reasons. And if you want to buy a base model head with no rockers, just the bare head, like I sold the other day on, like you saw on Instagram, it is $200. And if you, of course, you know, if you need the head shaved or whatever, that's plus 85. But if you're just getting the core head, new Supertech valves and polished valve seals and polished valves, $200. At that point, I'm not even really charging labor on that, because those heads, I'm being real about it myself. I know I don't expect them to be hot sellers. Now, if it changes later on down the line, then prices will go up. Prices will reflect demand. Right now, demand is not there. I have a lot of those heads stocked. So if I run out at some point and people are still asking for them, then I might bump it up $100. But right now, I think $200 is as low as I can possibly go and still make money. Because I'm stripping the heads down, I'm cleaning them, I'm polishing the valves, I'm putting new valve seals, reassembling it, and I'm only asking $200 shipped. That's a lot of effort and a lot of work to make maybe $100. So there's that. Now, if you want to build that head, you want to put springs, retainers, in that, it is $550. So if you're gonna go Vtec Killer and you're gonna say you're doing this on a budget, you're gonna get some meteor cams, or you've already got Vtec Killer cams or whatever, because I get them pretty cheap locally. Maybe you can get them cheaper than what I'll sell them to you for. So I think I sell them for $100, which I think that's as fair as it's gonna get that I can sell, because I still have to ship them and whatnot. And then so if you already got cams of your own or whatnot, and you want it just a built head, it's new valve seals, polished valves, springs and retainers, and it's $550. Now we'll get to the last option here, is Vtec Killer. Now Vtec Killer, I kind of put in its own bracket, even though Vtec Killer setup can be used on every one of these heads. It doesn't have to just be on the base model head. I know the base model head is the most popular to use them because it doesn't have the real Vtec, and you want to use the real Vtec cams, which is the best upgrade cam-wise, unless you're going to go with a big reputable brand. As a matter of fact, no, that's not. I've already made a separate video about that. I think that unless you're gonna go with like Drag Cartel or some shit like that, the best thing you can do is not to get K24 or base model specific cams. You get performance cams for the Vtec, the real Vtec, and use them, because those other performance cams for those base model heads that are made for those are shit. They're garbage. So if you want a Vtec Killer setup, let's say, because all the rocker assemblies are interchangeable between all the heads. Now, if there's a bunch of times where I've bought RBB heads where it doesn't have the rocker assembly. Why? Because the rocker assembly is more valuable to people than the RBB head. Now, I don't believe it should be, but whatever. Guys, a lot of times people sell K20 heads bare, so you need to buy the rocker assembly. Now, people can't sell the RBB head down here. So they part them out. They sell the cams and rocker assembly separate, because you can get a couple $100 off those versus the head itself, which nobody wants to buy except me. I love them. So now, if I do have a RBB head and I don't have a rocker assembly, you can still go the Vtec Killer route. Now, I thought about lowering the price, but I can't. I can't really lower the price, and I can't sell them to you at the same price I would sell them to you if they were bare, because I am still putting effort, potentially, and labor into the spring, the valve train or the rocker arms. So if you want a Vtec Killer for your K20 Type S head or RBB TSX head, they are available. All you gotta do is ask, and I won't do any additional charge if you're buying a complete head or a built head, or something like that, right? If I don't have the rocker assembly, right? So if you're gonna go with the Vtec Killer for the base model head, no cams and uncut rockers. So that means you're gonna order a Vtec Killer head from me. You're not asking for camshafts, and you do not want me to cut the rockers, because I do charge different prices. I sell the Vtec Killer rocker arms in sets of 4, and I sell them cut and uncut. The uncut ones are $60. To cut them, I charge $40 a set. So it would be, for a cut set, it would be $100 each set of 4. So it would be $200 for cut ones. So no cams, uncut rockers. So that means you have the full Vtec Killer rocker arm assembly, but they're just not modified yet to fit the cams. It is $320. So you're getting a Vtec Killer head that needs some modification for $320. Now, if you want me to cut the rockers for you, but still no cams, then the Vtec Killer head with the rockers already modified to run the Vtec cams is $400. And again, these are all also new valve seals, polished valves. So no cams, uncut rockers, and you want the springs and retainers, because let's say you want the head built, but you're okay with cutting the rocker arms yourself for the cams, then the head is $670. No cams with rockers cut and ready to go for cams, springs and retainers, $750. Now, if you want a complete drop-on ready head, like if you want a Vtec Killer, if you want one that's the rockers are already cut, and it's ready to go, like it's a complete Vtec Killer head ready to go, it's $560, and that's cams included. Again, it's like I don't think that covers the cost of the cam gear. Anyway, whatever. I guess I'll come to that bridge when somebody starts asking me for it, and nobody has yet, so it's not a big deal. If you want the drop-on ready complete Vtec Killer head with upgraded springs and retainers, it's $910. But again, you know, if you're gonna use a Vtec Killer head, and I just made a video about this the other day about what the springs are good for, like how much power or how many revs they can take. All of the springs for the K20, K24 head, even the Type S and TSX, they all have the same springs and retainers and valves. They're all the same size. It's the later model TSX that has bigger valves, and I think it's by 1 millimeter. And also, I think that there's one of the SI heads further on down that has dual valve springs that are stock. Other than that, like there are all of the even those the dual ones are interchangeable. So, but I don't have dual valve springs, the stock dual valve springs for any of them. So you will get it. You will get what's stock on the older model ones, but they're all the same. So, so if you're gonna do a Vtec Killer head and you're going to use the stock cams, there's no real need to upgrade the valve springs and retainers because you're going to be able to rev out to 85 anyway. At that point, you got to be more worried about and concerned about what rods you have on the bottom, not so much what's up top. Now, so I would say if you're going to get a complete drop-on ready head, if you want a drop-on ready Vtec Killer head that you're going to do upgraded cams for, then I would suggest you doing the one for $750. So it'll save you money that you don't need to spend on buying the cams. But all right, so that's the walkthrough here. Well, that took a whole lot longer than I expected. Jesus Christ. If that's the details on just the head alone. But that's just, 22 minutes of me talking about it, and I already have the list in front of me. Now imagine me sitting on my couch last night while I'm trying to come up with all the prices because I got to factor in shipping and all that craziness. So yeah, that's the updated list. I will try to get everything worked out on the website soon. But at least now, if somebody's asking me prices, I have something I can send in the meantime. And this price list is, I added this list to the short block list because not too long ago I did a listing for K23, A2, and all the versions, like the base model upgrades, the and turbo, all that shit. And those blocks are listed there. So if you scroll to the bottom of that list at the pinned post on Facebook, underneath that, you will see this listing of the prices for all the head. And I also threw it up on Instagram, although I will imagine it will get buried after I keep uploading. All right, so guys, that's it for now. I have one more video coming. I'm going to see about shooting it right now. And peace. Thanks for watching.